Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Carlos, and we are back with the Brown Liquor and Cigars podcast, and we have John.
What up?
Hey. And we have two very special ladies who are joining us for the first time on the podcast. We have Robin.
Hi.
Hey. And we have Robi.
Hello.
And before we get into today's show, I know that, Robi, you have It's an ADD Christmas in July coming up. Yes. So do you mind telling the listeners a little bit about that?
Sure, and thanks for having me.
Of course.
So it's the 7th annual It's an ADD Christmas in July Toy and Food Drive. And this year it will be benefiting the American Kidney Services and Pleasant Grove Food Pantry. And I decided to be really crazy this year and go all out because, we've been in quarantine, so we need stuff. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do not one, but two parties. Oh, I have not one, not two, but three DJs. So, not one, but two locations.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Yes, let's see if Robi can pull this off. Okay. So the first event will be downtown Dallas at Harwood Tavern, which is on 333 South Harwood Street, and that's on July 17th, and it's from 6 to 10 p.m. And then admission is a new unwrapped toy worth $10 or more, or you can just pay $10 at the door. And then from 9 till 2 a.m. we have It's an ADD Christmas in July after party, and we'll have two DJs. One will be inside the bar playing music, and one will be on the patio with an open mic and a few features. And that's at 8 Bells Ale House on 831 Exposition Avenue in Dallas. And that admission is $10. Or if you attend the first event, you'll have a wristband, because I give out wristbands for like a souvenir. You can get in free at the after party. And at both places, it's I love costumes. So wear your favorite costume. That's the theme. There's no theme this year. Just wear your favorite costume if you want. So at the after party, we're going to have a best costume contest. So it's going to be fun. Yeah, so you can dress however you want, do whatever you want. Now, the first one is family friendly. Let me just let everybody know that before you pick your costume.
Right.
At that one, it's completely family friendly. You can bring your kids out. We're going to have a magician. We're going to have Don Lewis will be performing with his band. We'll have DJ Famous Amos. And we're just going to have fun. And then, of course, we're going to have Doc Strange and a couple of other artists come through. Nice. And then DJ T-Rex and DJ Junebug will be at the after party. So you guys come out. It's for a great cause. I've been doing this now. This will be my 7th one, like I said.
Oh, wow.
And and I always donate to the Pleasant Grove Food Pantry. So, and we'll have raffles. So if people buy raffle tickets, I'll use all of that money to donate to the food pantry, because she told me a couple of years ago to do a dollar drive instead of doing canned goods, which I used to do. And $1 feeds or provides 3 meals for one client. So that's why we do the dollars. So,
wow. So if people want to give just a donation that can't make it work, how do they go about doing that?
I do have a GoFundMe set up from last year, because we went virtual, and it's still there. So if people want to donate there, it's on GoFundMe, ITS, and ADD Christmas in July. It's an ADD Christmas in July.
Okay.
And so,
nice.
yeah, they can donate that way. Thank you for letting me say that.
Of course. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, make sure y'all support.
Yeah.
And so today,
look at their.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know what he about to say. Bracing myself like, what is this about to be about? Because people think all the time we know.
Yeah, sometimes we don't.
We don't know what each other's gonna do.
We talk the general idea, but we don't know what we're gonna say.
Okay.
So I love music and listening to music all the time. So not to make this a pop culture podcast, because it's not, but this is a segue into what we're talking about today. So I listen to The Breakfast Club a lot, or watch The Breakfast Club, and this was all over social media this last maybe week or two, where I don't know if y'all heard about it, but basically T-Pain and Usher are supposedly friends, I guess, or were friends. And Usher, I'm guessing you maybe heard about this, Robin.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So Usher made a comment to T-Pain, and he said, "Hey man, I hope you realize that you effed up music." So to give people a quick background, T-Pain uses auto-tune. So that's when you listen to the music and you hear the people and their voices sound like
Right. So yeah, that's
they're
been
not
around
really
since
singing,
like the
but
60s
it's like
and
that
70s.
little computerized
Yes.
thing. So yeah, that's what he told him, and they
Yeah.
were friends. And he basically told him that verbatim, that you effed up music. T-Pain went on to say that he went into this 4-year depression, and when he linked back to the root cause, he basically, in so many words, said that was the tipping point to his depression. Was the way that Usher conveyed that information to him. So with that, I just want to ask each of you, when it comes to friendships or people that love you or somebody's looking for advice, or maybe even just giving your truth to someone else, or giving a truth to someone else, what type of person are you in that regard? And Robin, I'll start with you.
What? Oh man.
You look like you about to say something good, so I was like, let me catch it.
Man, no, like, so they come to me for advice. Like, how do I?
Or just how do you deliver truth? Because from my understanding, in that scenario, I don't think T-Pain was necessarily even asking Usher for his opinion
at all. He was just going over there to say hi,
Yeah.
and Usher was just like, by the way,
this is what you did.
Right. I don't make as much money now because of you.
And this was 4 years ago? This was 4 years ago?
Over 4 years
Over
ago.
4 years, but it put him in a 4-year depression because of what Usher
because
said.
of that.
Okay, and that was during the time Usher's career wasn't good. Okay,
Right.
so we're
Bingo.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Because T-Pain was pop. I mean,
He was, because
at
T-Pain
that
was
time,
on
he
everybody's.
had a lot of hits.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
have a lot. I still listen to him to this day.
Me too.
I'm in
So-
love with a stripper.
Right, you know? Hey. No, I mean, I will say, if you ask me, I'm just going to tell you. I mean, because what's the point of beating around the bush? Yeah, you might as well. I mean, say it as nice as possible. Like, I'm not going to be rude. And you're like, girl, yeah, you fat in that dress. But, I will, that's cute. But I think you look so cute in, like, yellow. Or so, just to try to get you out of that, get you into something else, for example.
So
Does that make sense?
You're like you would say maybe like a diplomatic truth teller. Is that accurate?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Translation bullshitter. Translation bullshitter.
Because but you have to know who it is that you're talking to, though.
Yeah.
Because some people can't take the direct.
That's true.
You can be
Criticism.
direct and honest with them, but there are a lot of people. I always tell people, especially my coworkers, you have to talk to adults like children. Adults do not like to be talked to like adults. You can't just be like, hey, no, da-da-da-da-da-da. You got to be like, okay, guys, that's great and all, but hey, this is what's really going on, and this is what we're going to have to do. So from this point forward, how about we try using it this way? I love everyone's train of thought. I love where we were going, but this is the approach that we're going to need to take. Like you kind of have to break it down to them.
Yeah.
to that level.
Yeah, so it's just, but there are some people I can just be like, girl, now you know good and well that was not at all, but those people are few and far in between.
Yeah. John, what would you say? What type of truth teller are you?
The funny thing, I get blamed all the time for being
Blunt.
and brutally honest.
Yes.
But honestly, I'm really not that dude. I'm really not that dude. I'm more compassionate than people give me credit for. But when I tell the story about the situation, it may come across as blunt because, of course, you tell bits and pieces of the story to shorten it or whatever. But I really am like a compassionate guy when it comes to telling the truth, because in that situation where he said he went into a 4-year depression, I would never, ever want something I say to somebody to send them over the edge. That. So I am compassionate, but I'll no lie, I always get I always have had the reputation of being brutally honest, and I think in the past I was that guy, but I've outgrown that with time.
Okay.
Okay.
Robi, how about you?
Well, first of all, T-Pain is not the first person to use
And Robi,
auto-tune.
we're gonna need you to talk up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
nobody.
I just gave
First
brutally
of all,
right there.
my bad, I forgot.
Right.
First of all, T-Pain was not the first to
I wish
use
y'all could see
auto-tune.
Robi. She has her hand
On the mic.
Robi, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
You're perfect right now.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
And Robi talks soft and sexy. She had a late night show. So
Right.
That's her. Yeah, that's
natural
her.
voice.
That's
Natural
just
voice.
how I
She has a podcast,
talk. Yes. Okay, so Peter Frampton, from like the 60s, 70s, he used auto-tune first. And don't forget about Roger.
Yes, I was just telling
Okay,
John about
so
that.
T-Pain, yes. So T-Pain should have said, "Fuck you, Usher. Don't be hating."
Oh,
Like,
damn.
whatever.
Take that, Usher.
If you're
Let it
friends,
burn.
if y'all are friends,
It
y'all
did
can
for a
say
while.
that.
Right.
Y'all can say that. Like, I mean, me and my friends, we talk like that. So, and like,
Yeah.
I can tell people like you, Robin, like, okay, you know, if you don't really know them, but if you know them, I'll just come out and say blah, 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 right?
Right.
And my friends are like that. You know, like my dad from the country, he talked to me like, that's why I think I'm a dude with booze, because he treated me like a boy. And so I can take, if you notice, I have a lot of guy friends, and
Yeah.
and we all talk shit to each other. Like, they don't faze me. I'm like, nobody can faze me because look who I'm surrounded by. My family and my friends. It's all we do to each other. So whatever you say to me, whatever, say what you want. You know,
Right.
doesn't
Yeah,
faze
right.
me. So I'm blunt. Like, I've had an ex. Once I told him something, and he said, "So I just can't believe you had the balls to say that." I'm like, what? So yeah, whatever.
Like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of people now are so freaking sensitive. Like, why are you being so sensitive? Like, handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Handle the
Right.
truth. Like,
Yeah.
if it is what it is, and if you need help, get it fixed if you can. That's how I feel about it. If that even makes sense.
No, it does.
It does.
Okay.
It does. Yeah, and I agree with what all of y'all said. It's funny. So, like, to John's point, how you mentioned you get the bad rap for being blunt. I think I get inaccurately labeled for being really compassionate, because people think I'm like super nice, and I am compassionate and I am nice, but I'm also one of those people where I'll give you the kind of smoothed over honesty. But to me, if you keep coming back and you're bumping your head like over the same thing again and again, then after a while it's like,
Right.
look, like
Yeah.
get your shit together after a minute. So I feel like I can be a little bit of both, but I think where some people, and just in this example, like Usher's position or someone who is telling that brutally honest truth, sometimes what gets on my nerves is that people a lot of times dish that out, but they can't take it. So I respect you if you can be brutally honest and you can also accept
Yeah.
brutal honesty, but a
Bad.
lot of people can't accept it.
Right.
Yeah,
At
they'll say
all.
it, but they
Yeah.
won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't accept that type of criticism or that type of honesty. I
Yeah.
feel like, yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Because I was like, oh my God, my feelings. I mean, in front of y'all, I wouldn't. In front of the person, I'd be like, oh, okay, I see. Oh, cool, thank you. And then I go to the shower, turn the water on, be like, so I am super sensitive. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
I don't see you as
Really?
being-
Oh my God, I am. I'd be like, oh no, because it's just a front. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, doing it. Yeah, my job. I'm like, oh okay, yeah, sure, I get it, whatever.
Right. You feel like,
Inside, yeah.
But you know,
crying.
I think anybody can take brutal honesty when they feel that it's coming from a good place.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
when it's
constructive.
yeah,
when it's
yeah,
constructive.
And
yeah.
in that situation with the whole Usher thing, and that's why I always just tell people you can't take, and that's, I read this book, The Four Agreements, and
love
one
that
of the agreements in the book is take nothing personal.
Right.
Because everything that people do to you is based on how they're feeling at the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
So in Usher's career, not saying that it was over at that time, but it may not have been as thriving as it was before. And I just recently saw T-Pain on a preview of a Netflix show. I can't pick this. I wouldn't have been able to pick this guy out in the lineup, before then. Yeah. But I don't know what his career was like, then. But according to you guys, it was pretty thriving. And if Usher's wasn't, there could have been a sense of jealousy going on there. And Usher wanted to plant that seed of doubt in his head. And it looks as though he succeeded.
Right.
Yeah.
He succeeded.
Yeah.
So people have to learn that when people give you honesty or whatever, whether it's truth, lie, whatever they're giving you, you have to understand it's coming from how they're feeling at that moment. And if they're feeling vindictive, they're going to vomit vindication. If they feeling good, they're going to spit out good. It's whatever they're feeling at that moment is what you're going to receive. But as a person, you just can't take that stuff personal. You have to just kind of like assess, be like, is that true? Did I really fuck up music or whatever? No, you didn't do that. Yeah. You didn't do that.
And he wasn't the first, like you said, Robi, to even
Not
do that.
at all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
Usher was just fishing.
I agree. I think he was too. And so what do y'all think about, because I have very strong ideas about this, but what do you think about the whole the concept, I guess you could say, of someone sending you into a depression based off of what they say? Is that, do y'all think that's really even possible, or is it maybe that person not accepting the blame? Because I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I've been depressed before, and usually there's that one thing that's like breaks the straw, the last straw, the camel's back, and it's kind of like, all right, this is the tipping point, but it's never that one thing. It's
an accumulation of a bunch of different stuff, and that then somebody says one thing or one thing happens to you, and then it's just like, oh man, I knew it. See, this is the reason why and then you start getting super negative.
Snowballs.
And then it just snowballs into this whole big old thing. Yeah,
and I think so too, because when you look at the T-Pain situation, if his career was thriving at that time and Usher said that one negative thing, but you making millions and millions of dollars and you getting invited to all these award shows and all this other kind of stuff, it seemed like it would have outweighed everything. So more than just what Usher said to him was really going on.
Yeah, but T-Pain even said, no, it wasn't that. Like, it was other stuff that was going on. But when because Usher was his friend. So, he was like, we were on a plane. And, Usher asked for him. Oh, T-Pain's up there. Tell T-Pain to come back. And so T-Pain goes back. And then Usher just like, you screwed up. Like, that would hurt my feelings too. So,
and I think two things probably was going on in that situation too. Usher probably wasn't feeling good about himself, as well as T-Pain not feeling good about himself as well.
Yeah,
so it was like a toxic combination, because I just can't see nobody holding Usher in that high regards that what you say is going to
it's like
crush me. I can't see that. I can't see it. And Usher, you kind of like in T-Pain. I just probably know one of your songs, and that's with what's that rapper saying? Yeah, John. Because he said so I can't get your music.
And that wasn't even his part.
I don't even know you for your own song. But I just can't see Usher having that type of power over this guy to do that. So both of them had to be dealing with something at that moment, and it was just a massive correct there.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point, because hypothetically thinking, if that would have been Michael Jackson that told him that, how much more would that have crushed him?
Michael Jackson,
tell me that I'm driving off the bridge.
I would say, listen, Michael Jackson.
I would have been like, damn, okay, I need to do something different.
Right, I know. It's like Oprah saying, ooh, girl, no. I'm like, oh my God. You be crushed, because those people you hold in so high regard,
Yeah,
and when your parents tell you you're disappointed, they disappointed in you. It's like, oh, got it.
I would take it harder from Mike.
I would.
Than the parents.
God. Really? Harder for Mike than the parents?
Yeah.
I think I would too, because he's like,
really?
I
The
still
end
tell
all.
Michael, fuck you, Michael.
Uh-oh.
I got it on. and y'all know I'm a big MJ fan. Y'all know I am. And I am a big fan of Usher. I was just playing
Yeah, me
that
too,
song,
yeah.
the other day in my car, jamming on the way home. So yeah, like I would say it because he's like I said, T-Pain is at a high level in his career. He's making money with everything you said, so that's why I would say that. Forget you.
I think that's
Whatever.
cool. Because,
Whatever. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a really cool thing because one thing I always say is, and I've gotten like this, I say maybe in the last 5 years, is I don't believe in wearing people's resentment. And my thing is if dealing with me or interacting with me is making someone resentful because of something I've said or done, then I'm probably going to make the decision to remove myself from the situation. Like,
Really?
I'm
You
not
would
even
make
gonna,
the person tell you?
Huh?
I feel like I would want to make them, like, if I'm making you uncomfortable or hurting you in some way, you got to say something to me.
Well, yeah, I would want them to tell me, but if I can kind of sense it, and if I've asked directly, like, okay,
And they won't
what
say
is this,
anything.
and then they won't say anything, or I guess in a way to kind of play devil's advocate to Usher, if they're friends, I'm sure there probably have been times maybe T-Pain said some hurtful things to him too, and that could have been a bite back that maybe we didn't see.
Yeah.
That could have happened there, but if they are still going to remain friends, then it's also not fair for, in this case, like Usher, if he made that comment, or since he made that comment, it's not fair for him to carry the burden of that forever. Like at some point, it's like, all right, you got to kind of, let this go. Yeah.
But letting it go is the hard part, though.
Yeah.
That's the part
is.
that's going to be
Yeah.
the hardest to...
But in moments when people are like trying to tear you down, like the whole T-Pain Usher thing, I think sometimes we have to remember our power in those moments. And what I mean by that is people only tear down things that are elevated. You can't tear down stuff
if it's like
that's
trash or
ground level. You can't do that.
That's true.
So Usher saw something in T-Pain, whether it's jealousy or his success at that moment or whatever the case, but he wanted to bring him down a level. So T-Pain has to realize his situation, his position at that time. He's looking up to you at that moment because he's trying to tear you down. You can't tear down something that's already broken.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
True.
So people have to realize their power in moments when people are coming up to you and they are brutally trying to destroy you or tear you down. I mean, they see you on the rise some kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
True,
agree.
true. Like those people when someone, like let's just say Carlos got super duper famous, and I'm like, oh, I have a video of Carlos drunk, and I'm gonna show everybody. so I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Right.
Ha ha, Throwback Thursday. It's something like that. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of
But-
drinking,
Oh, I was like, I don't have a video of you like that, Carlos.
I was like, damn, does she have one?
But
It's possible. No.
you may have a video of me, though.
I think, okay, so this is another quick little thing I heard in the news that's been buzzing. I don't know the whole story about this, but I don't know if y'all have heard about the whole Sha'Carri Richardson drama about her testing positive for marijuana.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know what y'all's thoughts is, but I'll just throw this out there. I feel like, from what I heard, her mom recently passed.
Right.
And so she was dealing with that. And I'm not an expert marijuana smoker. I have smoked it once, and I ate it another time.
Okay,
that was
Bill
kind of
Clinton.
against my will. I didn't know.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I went to this party. This was in college, and I ate like 3 brownies, and I didn't know. I was on the third one. Yeah. That was before social media was popping off. Glad there's no Throwback Thursday to that one. But but I've never heard of weed it's not like a performance stimulant.
It is
now,
not.
I could see if she had gotten caught with some kind of steroid or performance enhancement, then that would have been different. But I think it's just so crazy to me because I feel like not only do we have this cancel culture now, but people are so quick to
tear down.
to tear down and judge somebody's vice. I mean, and that might not even be her vice. She might have just, I need a release right now.
Right.
But, I think it's crazy how people talk about stuff like that. But then it's like you have people who are addicted to sex or they're alcoholics or they may be hardcore drug users or whatever. And then those same people are, passing judgment on that. So, I mean, how do y'all feel about that situation? John?
Well, I don't know a lot about weed or this track star, but I don't know a lot about that. But I do think that we live in a cancel culture right now. And I think that most people, especially athletes, they have to understand they are under a larger scrutiny than just the average person because it's so much that comes with just even being an athlete, and it has even nothing to do with your performance. It has a lot to do with endorsements, and I think at the end of the day that's really what it's about. It's about endorsements. And now people, I think companies and all of these endorsers, they're so afraid of social media nowadays. And what I mean by that is that if they don't do it, it may be a anti-weed use group. They may kick off and they start this big, massive protest and stop funding or purchasing whatever they got going on. So a lot of people, even though their mistakes are innocent like her, she used weed. I mean, most people have used weed. I haven't, but most people have used weed at some point in time. It's innocent, but they have to make an example out of her because if they don't, they're going to lose millions and millions of dollars if they feel it's an injustice going on there. White people feel, oh, you only doing that because she's black and this whole Black Lives Matter thing, so we're not going to do. So everything is so sensitive right now that some people are just suffering because of that. So sorry for her, and I hate that she lost her mom, but you're an athlete, and I'm sorry, certain standards that come with that.
Yeah. And she did come out and say, which I thought was commendable, that it was a mistake. She came out on TV and said it was a mistake. And it's funny you talk about endorsements, too, because I saw a tweet or something from Nike. Yeah. And they so far, they're still standing by her so far. Yeah,
they said, that's my man, I'm going to stand beside her. They did. So
Mothers Against Weed or something. They might change their mind. Mom. But I think with that too, though. I think with that.
Coming.
And it's kind of tricky. Like, so would this be happening if it was a white athlete? You don't know.
But see, that's
Michael Phelps.
Well, Michael Phelps
a few years
before
ago,
there was that white girl who tested positive for opioids.
Oh, sure
and she
did.
said, I ate a burrito. And it must have been in the burrito.
You didn't eat
and
no
they were
burrito.
like,
so poppy seeds are in burritos?
I never knew poppy seeds were in burritos, but apparently it was in this burrito. And they were like, oh, okay. Well, and they let her go.
Brushed it off.
But Sha'Carri, they was like, well, you got to have a suspension.
Yeah.
And so everybody was like, that's not fair because opioids is way different.
But for real, you never know now, like, what to do, with stuff, because if they don't do it, then like I said, protests could happen and they catch the backlash. Nobody want to just say, okay, you made a mistake, we're gonna stand behind you. No one is doing that anymore. Everybody's so quick to just jump to it and say, I'm done with you.
I mean, I'm a recreational weed user. I mean, I need to wind down from work. I got to wind down. I have Rice Krispie weed treats at my house right now. I'm off today. I'm like,
hey, why not?
It's my off day. I'm like, I'm going to do this little podcast. I'm going to go home, watch some Netflix. Order some
Eat
food.
a Rice Krispie?
Yeah. And hang out for the rest of the night, So, but
just don't get a random drug test tomorrow at work.
No, they don't.
Yes.
Hey, I mean, but I mean, it's like I was gonna ask who done smoke weed, but apparently I.
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm in the minority because
because
you're
it's
definitely in the minority.
like, it's a fact
In the minority.
I'm like, it is weed. I mean, you literally can go outside in this apartment complex. I'm pretty sure I could probably find 5 people.
my downstairs neighbor. Last night I could smell it.
Yes, my neighbor. I cannot.
Smoke rises.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Right, because like even in my apartment complex, I get into the elevator. It never not smells like weed because it is just it's so like that's how you know. Oh, that's the good stuff. But it still smell in here.
Yeah.
But like so it's just so. I don't know. I felt like that was the hill the Olympics wanted to kill Sha'Carri on. Like really, weed.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I just felt like they could have found something else, but
And weed is gonna make her perform worse than normal.
And that's the fact that she was
my
the
thought, too.
fastest. Yeah, but she was high on weed when she ran, and she smoked everybody.
Yeah.
Broke a
No
world
pun
record.
intended.
Right.
I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
I couldn't help it.
She smoked everybody on weed. I was like, come on now.
Well, I
She was on
support
weed
her.
when she killed everybody.
Go. I mean,
go.
and like a lot of people, like y'all said, she brought up accountability. And
She
that
did.
is very hard
Right away.
because what do people do? They get their PR managers
Yep.
and they
And try
say,
to-
oh, I apologize. She's like, hey, I did it. And what?
Yeah.
So
It was kind of unapologetic about it.
She
I
did.
felt.
She did.
Yeah.
She was like, listen, I had a lot of stuff going on. My mom had died, and
which is why people do things like that.
Right. Yeah.
And going back to, I guess, to that whole honesty bit that we talked to, that brutal honesty, do y'all think that because in some regard she was brutally honest about her use of it, do you think that maybe hurt or helped the situation?
Maybe it
I
hurt.
think it helped her.
But I think I'm like,
I think it
good.
helped her. Yeah, because
Because
Nike
teach
was just
people.
like, cool. Yeah, because Nike was like, hey, she accepted accountability for it.
Yeah.
We
It's like
good
you
with
take
it.
the heat.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a rumor. Like if
Right.
you put it out there before everybody
else. Yeah.
it's like, okay, it's not as exciting.
Right, and she
Exactly.
did it herself. She didn't use no third party, no PR like you were saying. She went on NBC. Yeah, guys, I did it. My bad. I knew the risk to take, and I still did it anyway. Sorry.
So let's move on because I mean
Yeah.
I'm saying like she could be like let's move on and hey, Snoop Dogg could be one of her sponsors. So what? I'm just saying. Worst case scenario.
Hey, you never know.
Mike Tyson, Snoop Dogg.
Mike Tyson.
He has weed.
Right.
Mike Tyson.
Wait, Mike Tyson has his own?
Yes.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that either.
Wiz Khalifa has his own.
I know Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, I'd
So
heard
like
about his.
it's a lot of celebrities. They have their
Your
own
own
strain.
That's true. So this could open her up to
It
a
could-
whole...
oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean a different.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
I mean, she
I'm
couldn't
a-
be endorsed. Yeah, the Olympics. I
Snoop
don't think will let
Dogg.
that
Why
do.
don't
Right.
you get Takara?
Like at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So as we wrap up here, we usually do a shot of truth
Okay.
at the end of every episode. So,
With liquor.
yeah.
Oh my God.
It's something.
I was just wondering.
Oh, well, since you said it.
Can I tell everyone about these shots?
Sure.
These strong shots.
So they have Jello shots in like tiny
you.
solo cups.
They're so cute,
And
right?
so, like, you basically have to deep throat it to get it all out.
To get all the jello.
We all subconscious trying to drink this down. Like, damn.
And you ate
Deep
your
enough.
she ate her Jello shot
I
with
did
a
eat mine.
fork.
Oh,
She's
oh,
very
God.
respectable.
So we giving a shot of truth?
Yes, yes.
Literally.
So as y'all are taking y'all's little shots, I'll start off. I'll do mine first. So my truth about honesty, I guess I say, is that I feel like, it is the best policy, but at the same time, you have to know your audience. Mm-hmm. Know the person that you're talking to, that you're delivering the honesty to, and then also you need to be prepared. If you're going to be brutally honest about it, then you also need to be prepared to receive that back. If you're not a person who is willing to receive that, then to me you shouldn't give it. That's just my opinion. But and then I think that was a great point you said too, John, about the elevation. Don't get so caught up all the time in what people say, because sometimes you have to consider the source, and where people are in their lives at that moment. So that could also impact what they say to you. So yeah, just take it with a grain of salt sometimes.
True.
Yeah. Robi?
Well, I would say actually get to know your friends, because however your friends are, they're going to be like this with you. I learned this in the 7th grade. So if you have a friend that maybe talks a lot of noise about everybody else, they're talking about you too.
Yep.
So so if you know how that person can maybe be toxic or whatever, just maybe don't say anything, because I was thinking later, maybe Usher knew something about T-Pain and he knew that could set him off. Like that could be possible. I just didn't get a chance to say it, but I mean, things like that. So like really know your friends who you're hanging around with, like know what to say, know what not to say, because they can come back and use it against you. If you're hanging around a type of person like that. I think that's my shot of truth.
I love it.
I know. That's so poignant, so amazing.
Thank you. Y'all are making me feel smart.
I mean, I don't know. Weed is okay, people. It's all right. Smoke it, have fun, relax. You might need it after your friend tell you off. So
that might take the edge off. That's right. Hey, it could.
Not to mention, it's from the earth. It's natural.
It's natural.
Yes.
Hey.
It's an herb.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
It's like basil.
They got all these cooking shows. Cannabis now.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Well, my shot of truth would be I agree with everything you guys have said. Just take into consideration, like Robi said, who you're telling things to, because they can always come back and use that. And then also, if you're the person giving the truth, be conscious of who you're giving the truth to. Be sensitive to that. And those who are taking the truth, hey, just, be open to find the good in whatever they're saying. Find the good in whatever they're saying and take that, and the rest of it, just move around.
Cool. All right,
nice.
y'all.
That was good.
Yeah.
Peace. Y'all stay truthful and smoke if that's what you do.
Smoke weed every day.
And T-Pain, you on Netflix. The last thing we saw Usher in was a cameo in the stripper movie with Jennifer Lopez, and he was making it rain with $1.
Yeah.
He was making it rain with dollar bills.
Oh, wait, y'all remember those Usher bucks?
Yeah, he was giving them out to his staff.
Yes.
Whoops, sorry, Usher, not really. But
We love your music.
So, hey, T-Pain, know your power.
that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a wrap.
That's
Peace.
a wrap.
Thanks for
Peace.
listening.
Bye.